Hey chat, how's it going? Welcome to another evening Star Trek Axiom stream. We are actually episode 5, not 6, because I can't count. Sorry we didn't have stream yesterday. Let me actually do a shout out. Because we were hanging out with Noah and Moon playing some Star Citizen. So go watch that VOD, it was very silly, and several people almost died in space. Repeatedly. But we are gonna go see what happens at the end of as the result of our, let's say, mid-season finale. Last game. The crew of Danielson was able to save the conference, but at what cost? We'll find out tonight. Let me pause our music, and I think things set up a little bit better this time. So let's go.
Wait till like season 4 and do it like Deep Space Nine and just suddenly have the Defiant for no reason. I mean, they had a reason, but
oh god, we're live.
Sudden upgrade.
I'm gonna wait for Brian to let me know when to go.
Hey everybody, we're live.
Yay!
All right,
Let me fix
here
my
we
melee. Go for it.
All right.
First thing I heard
Cyric considered himself so much more than a normal Vulcan. He was a perfect being of logic, a person who saw only the calculations, one who did not repress or avoid, one who just existed in the absolute math of the universe. The logic had led him to the deduction that he had made 3 years ago at Cascade, and the choice he made to bring the galaxy to where it needed to be. No amount of colonists on any planet could have balanced those scales. He pondered the situation as he and his partner, Klingon Captain Graka, stepped into her quarters. She was not convinced. They survived. That trash ship is still operating with a crew full of people that know, she growled. He valued Graka. As emotional as Klingons were, she tended to have a much better grasp on what needs to be done. She was still Klingon, though. There is no irrefutable evidence that they know anything. They know something. They have to. They were supposed to go down stopping the Valor, but they are still alive. She was still irritated. That is an unexpected outcome, I will agree. When I gave them the order, the percentage they would survive was negligible, but not assured. He said, watching her disrobe in front of him and allowing himself to feel the pleasure of the physical reason he was about to in physical reaction he was about to engage in. He continued knowing she would need to be calmed or come up with some Klingon assassination plot. They are being towed to Tomek Memorial Station. I have already instructed the staff to inform the crew that they are to leave. That they are on leave, but confined to the station, pending a debrief and interview by me personally. I will find out what they know and make sure the Accord is not in danger. She finished removing her outfit. She was matter of fact about the act of physical pleasure, and Cyric valued that as well. The Accord was signed. Unparalleled peace was brought to the quadrant. Cyric had done that, but he had unfortunately had to build that peace on a lie. He had made his bed. It would be illogical to worry about what is done. He will examine the situation with more information, and he will find a solution. Don't make me wait, Vulcan, Graka growled. And that brings us to episode 5. Welcome back, everybody. So excited you guys are here. So, we left off. You had just basically hockey style checked another ship out of a warp, and then blew it to hell with a lot of like in the moment calculations. Of course, though, this makes your ship basically inoperable, and it takes everything in your power to keep life support going while the ship floats into space. But nonetheless, you all and the crew managed to survive. Then it gets a little bit scary because it takes about an hour or so for anybody to get to you. But a Wallenberg class called the USS Kestrel shows up to tow you to the nearest station. That station is Tomek Memorial Station. You have to wonder, as the much nicer, much prettier Kestrel tows you, why you guys got so lucky with the Danielson. Nonetheless, you are towed to Tomek Station, and you are each examined by medical staff there. You meet a man named, well, I forgot to name, woefully unprepared today. Just bear with me, everybody. I'm going to say
He's flying by the seat of his pants. Time to eject some warp cores.
Tony Kahn. Captain Tony Kahn, who is a smaller guy, curly black hair, darker complexion, real nice and affable though. Nonetheless, as you guys come off the ship, he basically tells you all you are all confined to the station pending an investigation, as well as a debrief from Admiral Cyric personally. He is on his way here from the Accord that has been recently signed. So as of right now, you are on leave. You can make use of this station any way you want, but you are asked not to leave for any reason. And he announces this to kind of your whole crew after you guys get off, basically because they kind of have to pull you in and then just kind of let your crew off, kind of almost emergency style. And then once you guys are all in a big kind of loading bay, he kind of makes that announcement wholeheartedly to all of you with a bunch of security. Then he drops down and he walks over to, he just kind of goes, okay, so who's the senior staff currently of the Danielson?
I kind of look around us, I think.
Hi, guys.
Well, I mean, the staff that the captain had nominated as his senior staff would be us.
Yeah.
I'll find somebody to stand behind.
Yeah, you guys.
No, we're still nominated as senior staff.
staff, though.
We're still senior staff. First off, I was the acting first officer, and then captain.
All right. Well, welcome to the station. Look, guys, I don't know what exactly is going to happen here or why Cyric wants to have you guys confined, but I got to be honest, from everything I've heard, you guys acted bravely, and man, I can't believe you pulled off what you pulled off with, no offense, that bucket.
I
No
think we were all
offense.
just as surprised as you were, to be fair.
I'm more surprised we made it back to the starbase in one piece.
I mean, it was a 1 in a million shot, if that generous, and somehow we just.
I mean,
screwed
I'm
through, I
insulted.
guess. I was talking about the phaser shot.
I
Tony's
was
like,
talking
well,
about the ramming.
didn't mean to insult you, but like I said, that thing is old, and you guys managed to make it work. Nonetheless, orders are orders. You guys are all confined to the station until you are officially debriefed by Cyric.
All right.
Admiral Cyric himself. He's headed here with, surprisingly enough, with the Klingon ship that he was on during the Accord. So he should be here shortly. But you guys all will get room assignments. We have assigned you guys some rooms. They're not the best, but they'll make you comfortable. And look, you're not going to fall out of warp drive or anything here, okay?
Yeah, lol.
Yeah, I was about to say, we are Starfleet officers. Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Probable, but
Excuse me, are there holodecks here that I can make use of?
There are
Holo
holodecks
suites?
here. There are holodecks here. We have a very fine promenade. We are actually one of the I pride myself on being one of the nicer areas for residential civilians to stay from crewmen's and that sort. So there's a lot of stores. There's a lot of all sorts of things to enjoy here at the Memorial Station. So you guys have free range of it, of course.
Thanks very much.
And then we're going to see about your ship. I'm going to assume it's going to be decommissioned, but you never know with Starfleet nowadays. But I mean, really, the fact that you guys are here in one piece is kind of a miracle. So great job on that.
Spare parts are starting to get hard to come by for these.
That's it. You guys are dismissed.
I'm going to go
my
get a
course.
drink. Anybody coming?
Yes.
I'm going to my quarters. I just need to get away from everybody for a little while.
Okay. Lenra's going to his quarters. Enzo's going to get a drink. Who's joining Enzo for a drink? T-Rex immediately goes, I will drink.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Where's that O'Reilly guy? Is he around here?
Basically, when you're looking around for O'Reilly, you realize Narc's already gone.
Like Batman, he just like throws down a Ferengi smoke bomb and like vanishes in the darkness.
But like,
But with squeaky
around
shoes that you
himself,
can like,
and then like
you can hear the squeaky shoes going around the corner.
so Narc's gone. What's Tobin doing?
Tobin's gonna go drink too, which is
Yeah.
a terrible idea, but it's gonna be funny.
And so you do see Kyle. Kyle looks bothered by everything that's happened. He's kind of white. You see, he almost has like an inner turmoil on him. It doesn't look like he even heard you, and he just kind of starts to walk off with his shoulders very low.
I call out a little sharper. Hey, Ensign. Sorry. You guys are lieutenants, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Lieutenant. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you right about. I
you're-
just heard him say dismissed, and I thought that I could go.
At ease.
Sorry. Okay.
Hey, we're gonna go get a drink. I think all of us could use one. You coming?
You know, if it's all right with you and it's not an order, I think I'm gonna go to my quarters. I got some things I need to think about. If that's all right with you.
It's not an order. We'll come check in on you a little later though, if that's all right.
Thanks, Lieutenant. And then he just kind of like walks off.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's a role play beat. Okay, so you head to the alcohol thing now, just for meta-ing information, that sort of thing. You basically because you had an hour to kind of float around on a half-dead ship. Somewhere in there, that's where you found the time to kind of go into Anaphis's captain's quarters, get the hollow thing, and turn it on. That opening entry that you watched right away, and then realized you were not about to watch this with a bunch of people around, so you turn it off, so you don't know what else is on there, just so you know. That's all. The information you got from the last time we played, the end of the last time,
Right.
that's it. That's all you got. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Until you spend some time going over it.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So let's start with you, Mark and Tobin and T-Rex. You guys head to... also deciding to join you is Cynthia Deveros. Backwater actually goes to Medbay because he took a lot of damage being knocked around the shuttle. But
Sure.
Deveros joins you guys. She's also very stressed and not happy. So yeah,
Show the hands, Tobin.
I haven't had a chance to think about it. I think I'm going to have a drink instead.
Good plan. That's a good plan.
Medical treatment? Nah. Alcohol?
You guys head into the promenade. It's actually, he's right. It's a beautiful promenade. This station is pretty. The Tomac Memorial Station is beautiful. You can definitely see that Tony Kahn runs a tight ship. And as far as it being nice for his civilian people, it's bustling. It feels like a city in here, honestly, like a miniature city right inside this station. Everybody seems happy. You see aliens of all sorts, kids and everything. You guys find a nice bar, head in, and it's also clean. There's a tender there. She comes over and goes, "What can I get you?"
Whiskey.
She's like, "Yeah, you guys look like you need something strong." Okay,
Yes.
I'll make it double shots, and then she gets you guys whiskey, hands them down at the bar, tells you to let you know if she needs anything. And
Appreciate it.
do some shots. At that point, so nobody's talking right now. Like, you guys are literally, the four of you are sitting at the bar, just like old sweat and blood on you. Like T-Rex has.
Yeah, we just went straight to the bar.
other-
We haven't changed at all.
Nope.
T-Rex has literally other people's blood spackles on her uniform. She's just sitting there drinking. The Cynthia is drinking as well. So does anybody spark up a conversation right away, or do you guys all just drink in silence?
I'm willing to let the silence ride for at least a few minutes. I mean, I'll speak up eventually, but not right away.
Tobin is going to take his drink, shoot it. Troll are not known for their alcohol tolerance.
Oh, yeah. Probably should have warned him this wasn't synthale.
All right. So Tobin shoots it, immediately goes loopy and passes out. Cynthia actually is the first one to legitimately speak. And she basically says, you know, they're going to blame us for all of this, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a little hard to say, isn't it? I mean, what?
How many times have you been investigated and debriefed personally by an admiral?
Only twice, I think.
Yeah. They never work out good.
No, they do not.
And I've been around long enough. You know, this was supposed to be my cakewalk posting. This was supposed to be my retirement posting.
I mean, we got all the logs and recordings of him going batshit on us, right?
Yeah, we do. And then we rammed him in warp, and we blew up a Sovereign class cruiser.
Well, it had already been hijacked. We did what we could, and then, you know, we saved the peace conference, right?
They're all probably classified.
Yeah, this is all us. You realize that, Enzo, right? It's all us versus them. And we are a bunch of losers on a tow truck ship in the middle of space who barely survived.
Yeah.
Plus, what are they going to do? They're going to tell people that their ship got captured to do terrorism?
Yeah. No, that's a fair point.
She asks for another one, drinks. T-Rex is just silent through it. She looks in her own world about something. Cynthia's like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm gonna go find my room and try and get some rest before whatever shit show that's coming our way comes our way.
Yeah. I flagged the bartender. Hey, how long of the trip is it from wherever he said the Admiral was coming from?
I don't know, probably like half a day. He's probably gonna get here overnight.
Okay, so we have
and then in the morning start the interview. I would say it's give or take. It's roughly like 7 or 8ish, like late in the day.
I look over at T-Rex, who's still not saying anything. Let's drag the ensign back to his room. I don't think he's doing any good here.
She ignores you for a second and goes, I broke her back.
Who's back?
Commander Green's. I broke her back.
On purpose?
I mean, I wasn't trying to break her back, but I was trying to break her. She fired on Anaphis. She got my phaser when I was trying to take her down and fired on Anaphis. So I threw her.
Mm-hmm.
She hit the post and broke her back.
Okay.
That's why she was giving you looks in that transporter room. She's gonna come after me. She's gonna want.
She was
gonna want blood vengeance.
She was giving me looks because she wanted to make sure I wasn't feeling any dumb loyalty to some guy who tried to kill us all. Did I mention that I was the first one to shoot Anaphis in the back?
Yeah, but Anaphis was obviously a terrorist. I protected a terrorist by breaking a commander's back. And I'm a petty officer. They're going to send me back to the Empire, and
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a very uncomfortable couple of days while we sort through all of this, because it's a decorated Starfleet captain went rogue because he was experiencing multiple time copies of himself within minutes of each other, who then hijacked an entire starship technically by himselves. Yeah. So anyway, I think extenuating circumstances are probably a pretty decent bet here. And let's be honest, it's not like
time says selves is right.
Exactly. See what I mean? That's my point exactly.
Well played, Tobin. Well played.
Wibbly wobbly time.
Well played. Well played.
But yeah, I mean, let's face it. Like, we're gonna spend so long sorting this out that her back will be fixed by the time we're done. I mean, it's not like they can't fix it.
As hard as the Empire is, it is sometimes easier. She'd just come for me, and I could fight her, and we would resolve it. But here, let's take the Trill back. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
She slings the Trill over one shoulder. You sling him over the other. You guys take Tobin back to your room.
It's definitely more likely that I could walk than we got here.
That's right, buddy. All right, you dream about that for a while.
Yeah.
After we deposit him, I give T-Rex, kind of a nod, saying, "Look, well, we're gonna have a lot of talking to do over the next couple of days." And you didn't know that he was a terrorist when you were defending him, right?
T-Rex, you don't know a lot about her past. You've been put with her, and you guys established a really good trust right off the bat. But you're very the strong silent type in a lot of ways. And so you never really talked about your past, but something definitely looks to be stressing her out. And she immediately looks at you and just goes, I don't talk about myself, but I can't go back to the Empire. I can't.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen. We'll make sure of it, all right?
I mean, they should execute me at that point.
I mean, I know the food's bad, but...
I know, you people don't do execution. I get it. Nonetheless.
No, trust me. This is, like I said, we're going to spend the next probably 2 weeks talking very carefully with some very nice lawyers from Starfleet Command. But in the end... But I mean, let's face it, in the end, it was a very complex, chaotic situation. You did what you thought was best at the time, right? You saw somebody shooting your captain, and so you tried to protect your captain. That makes sense.
Right? I was aware he was a terrorist by that point.
That does make it a little trickier. But it's also not... We're not allowed to kill people before they get on trial, even terrorists. And so protecting a terrorist's life, even from another Starfleet officer, is actually what we're supposed to be doing.
There is something else going on here, Enzo. I feel it in my bones.
I agree. Hopefully we'll learn some more about it. Actually, why don't you come with me? I want to show you something.
You're going to show her?
Yeah, man.
Ooh, okay. All right. Was not expecting that. All right.
Yeah, first thing, he's already showing the Klingon.
He's like, we will stab them. We will stab them all. That's what we will do.
Exactly.
Stabby, stabby,
Stab
stabby.
Stab him with the what now, Zach?
Dick talk.
Well, that's what the Admiral's doing right now.
Oh!
Hey, look. I like sex. My games are going to have sex. It's just going to happen.
I'll drink to that. Wow.
Okay.
I don't see the logic, but okay.
So, Narc, what are you doing? What's your game plan here for the Hollow Suites? You just hanging out in them, or are you trying to do something specific?
Okay, so I'm assuming all of our stuff basically just got left on the ship when we disembarked, pretty much. Like we didn't like unpack our quarters or anything.
No, you could have taken some choice stuff with you if you wanted to, but like the ship was in such bad shape. It was more like everybody get in this room and then everybody get the fuck off of it, you know?
Yep.
So,
but like we still have all of our gear that we had with us before, basically. Okay,
yeah,
great. So because I'm basically having PTSD from just being a Ferengi and possibly other things that I went through ever, I run straight to the nearest Hollow Suite that is like unoccupied.
Okay.
And I just reserve it for like the next like 15 hours. And I also reserve the one next to it. And then I'm going to attempt to, from the inside of the holodeck, take the isolinear chips like they always do, and basically swap some stuff around so that I can use the memory on the other holo suite next to this one and this one at the same time.
All right, first roll of the day, baby. Okay, so well, first of all, my threat would only be 4. So let me look at them character sheets. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. So let's do definitely reason, and let's definitely do let's say engineering on that, and then you can do
can I use holo programming?
Yeah, holo programming, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you for taking long enough to explain what you were doing for me to put the Hollow Suite scene back in.
Sorry. When you asked me for the things, I didn't know that anyone would be going to the Hollow Suites, which is a stupid thing of me, because I'd be like, well, they're there. If I was in a Star Trek game, the first fucking place I'd go is a holodeck. Be like,
listen, we've had time travel, clones, and
the Borg are attacking everyone to red alert.
We've had everything except Borg and Hollow Suites.
There was some Borg in there, just a little.
Oh wait, that's right. We did they were Borg. So yes,
Little Borg.
they're missing only
I
Hollow
think my
Suite.
roll didn't work. I'm gonna reload Foundry real quick.
It's not quite a Borg; it's a buh. That's what you had. Your roll didn't what?
I didn't
The
see
roll didn't
anything come
happen.
up. Yeah, so I'm gonna try that again.
What was the?
Fun
It was a
scene's probably
fun
broken a little bit. Just like
Hold on, I'm gonna do a test roll real quick to see if things are working. Yeah, they're working.
There we go. Oof, 1 success, 1 complication.
you do it. We're consistent.
Here we go.
Hologram manifest Moriarty. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
It's on, bitches. Let's do this shit.
Hologram Barkley.
It's Da Vinci with a shotgun. Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay. Complication. Man, I could be really crazy with that, but I don't know that I'm gonna. We're just gonna tick that thread up one for that one.
Okay.
You managed to make it work. It's not the best, and you're pretty sure you're gonna get in trouble at some point for it, but it doesn't fucking matter to you right now. So yeah, we're gonna say for the time being, I'll allow it.
Okay.
So what are you doing with the Hollow Suite now that you have double memory?
So now I'm going to take all of the recordings that I have, all of the readings, the sensor readings, and everything else, and I'm basically going to merge them into a holo program, like basically just spin up like a copy of some simple, very basic, low-level holo program,
Okay.
and take all of my recordings and stuff, and basically just add them as extra useless elements in there, like there's a kid's room in the holo suite or in the holo program itself, and in the kid's room there's a teddy bear, and in the teddy bear I just put like, they're holding a little piece of paper, and the piece of paper is the data itself, something like that, just innocuously inside of another holo program,
Burying it so it's easy to find later.
or not easy to find unless you know what you're looking for. But
Right.
if you're
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly. And then I'm going to take the original copy that I have on the tricorder, and just basically spend however long it takes, as long as my rental, for the holo suite lasts. I'm basically going to just take that and just sit there and just basically rewrite the program that I have on my tricorders and my sensor readings so that it's just slightly different. I'm basically just going to make another copy of it. And on this copy, I'm going to take out everything that happened on the planet and just replace it with static.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say you do that. It's a little bit crazy, but I get it. So the crazy has happened to you. So I understand.
And just, and it's, Cyric and strange situations and immediately coming back and being debriefed. And I don't want to say the R word.
Well, and Cyric is the one who debriefed you after the incident.
So I'm expecting that this is probably what he would expect based on the previous situation.
Yes. So you are you're a two-time Cyric attendee, which is not something you're super excited about. You're the only person here who has met Cyric before.
The only time you get debriefed by the Admiral is the bad time.
Yep.
It's true.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say that all works. Yeah. As far as you know, that all works.
Awesome.
Once
it's done, I'm just gonna go and start watching random old school video, like movies, just old school holo movies.
Nice. Just to decompress. I totally get it.
God, why does Earth have so many World War III biopics?
Decompress or an addiction, whatever, same deal.
All right, Lenra, you get a knock. You're just relaxing for a little while, actually.
Here's what happens. I get to my quarters, and first thing I do is I go to the nearby console. I am downloading remotely from the ship using my access codes as captain all the internal logs, including the conversation we had with me protesting him going down to the planet, and
Okay.
also a copy of the orders from the admiral to stop the Valor at all costs.
Okay. Cool beans.
I'm trying to get everything off the ship that basically shows what happened before anyone else possibly could try to delete it.
Okay.
What?
So paranoia is spreading. Got it.
Well,
okay.
it's not just paranoia. It's also the fact that I know because I've
He's
dealt
afraid
with
you're
Jake.
Romulan. I get it.
Well, it's not a Romulan thing.
Get it.
I've
It's a
I've
Romulan
been
thing.
under I've
Sorry,
been under
man. It is.
I've been under investigation before, and evidence is a good thing.
Yes.
It's a
And
Romulan thing.
something screams really rotten here because one, we entered into a system with severe temporal anomalies with no other ship backup for scientific backing, given the fact we were wholly under-equipped. With a captain who was already emotionally compromised because this was a huge problem area. Those are two giant red flags that are screaming something else is going
Your
on in the back
internal
of my head.
monologue is interrupted by a knock at the door. You're about halfway
Fucking
through
rude.
downloading the information. It's
Turn
been
off the
about
monitor.
an
Yeah,
hour.
turn off the monitor and make sure it's going to a pad I have covered so they can't see what the hell's going on. And I answer the door.
It's Kyle. It's Kyle O'Reilly. Ensign Kyle O'Reilly. He's kind of standing there in front of you with a small hollow pad. He looks very stressed out, but there's also kind of a weird sense of relief on his face. He
What's
goes,
wrong, Ensign?
Lieutenant, you know, this has been kind of crazy since we've been here. I know you were acting captain and, you know, I helped you. Well, I didn't help you at all, but I was with you on the ship. So it just kind of feels right to give this to you. But here you go. He hands you the hollow thing, and it's basically his resignation. He's like, I'm sorry I failed you up there. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. And you know, you guys, I thought I was cut out for this. I guess I'm just not. And you were somebody who chose me to help you, and I let you down so many times. So I'm sorry, Commander.
Ensign, if you feel this is the right thing to do for you, I won't stop you.
You know, I think it's the right thing to do for the crew. I mean, I went out on the wing with you. I tried to help you, and literally, I was only a liability to you. You know, you asked me to come help you out on the arm, and I was only a liability. I almost cost you your life multiple times in a high pressure situation in which we almost couldn't pull it off. I can't think of one thing I did through that entire situation other than
Ensign.
almost get you guys killed.
Ensign, calm down. This is still your decision. We all have bad days. The question is, are you going to learn from it and grow or walk away? I can't make that decision for you. That's why if it's what you feel you need to do, it's what you need to do.
Maybe it's just because you're a Romulan, but it sounded like you were trying to tell him something there.
Sounded like you were telling him, get the fuck off my ship.
No.
So it sounded like to me. He just kind of looks at you and goes, look, you guys have been great. I don't know. I just can't put you guys in danger again. I can't. I did everything I thought was right, and at every step of the way, I almost got you all killed. I did everything I thought was right, and at every step of the way, I almost...
If that's what you've decided, I won't argue it.
I wish you well, Commander, and I'll be on the station because I still got to get debriefed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks away.
Mm-hmm. Not filing that right away.
Okay. All right. Gonna try and get him back, or
This is his decision. I can't hammer, I can't hammer anything home into him at this point. He's coming with a very absolute viewpoint of how things are. So
okay.
this isn't a Worf dilemma. This is like, I nearly got someone killed. I don't feel, I'm like, yeah, that's different.
Alrighty. Enzo, you are back in your room with T-Rex.
So
You both smell terrible. It is very evident when you get into your small quarters. But she's like, "What did you want to show me?"
So
TikTok.
The last thing that the captain said to me, well, one of the captains, I guess, said to me, was that I should go look in his room under his desk, and he had left a pad and recorded something. I only saw the first beginning of it, but I think he wanted to say something to us as the crew, or at least me, anyway. And I wanted you to see it with me. Maybe it'll help you. I don't know what it says yet, but I need to see more of it before we get debriefed tomorrow.
Do you think it explains why he did what he did?
I think it does. I hope it does, anyway. Not that it changes what he did, but I think it'll give us more to go on.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
Well, I trust you, and I want you to know that you're a valued part of my team, and I want you around. I like having you around.
As far as humans go, I trust you as well.
I'll take it.
All right, so you and T-Rex cuddle up and watch a movie together.
It's just like a perfect Klingon telenovela. You get to the cramped quarters, everybody stinks. You talk about somebody who just killed somebody, and you're gonna watch a video about it. You just got drunk. I am so in on this game. This is great.
I think thank you. I think that's a compliment. Okay, so I was going to write up everything that happened for this, but my week has been terrible. I apologize to the audience. So I'm going to basically tell you what's in there. First and foremost, it's about, I don't know, like 2 to 3 hours of just logs from him slowly becoming first. Basically, like, it starts with that one entry that you saw, and then basically it comes back in and he's ranting about something, and slowly it gets less and less intelligible and more like, I've got to kill them all. What's really crazy and interesting is it's not even just a descent into madness. It makes you question your own sanity, because as the entries pop in, there'll be an entry from farther along, but he will have less scars. Like a different one of him is doing the log this time, and then it'll be back to first. And it's absolutely the most maddening thing you've ever seen. Not maddening as in angering, but like crazy stuff. So you go through that log, and it definitely gives you more of a feeling of, Anaphis's descent into madness via this power, via the loss of his family. Because included in it is the unredacted files on Cascade, for the most part. Yeah. So Cascade, all the stuff that Anaphis told you was correct. Cascade was testing a temporal power source. They were also using reclaimed Borg technology in order to create that source. Something happened. The Borg woke up, started murdering everybody, and the device went off and started creating the temporal anomaly, the temporal distortion effects. There was evidence of sabotage. Okay, in the file, evidence of sabotage, but the person behind it was unknown. Okay, the Valor was sent to rescue them. Aboard the Valor was Cyric, Matt Cardona, the captain, who is now deceased, Chelsea Green, his first his first person, and then the people on the planet were Graka. Let me give her full name, the Klingon. Graka Emperek, which was basically she was the ambassador of the Klingons who are on the planet. Then there was Sada, which is a Romulan who was the ambassador of the ambassador of the Romulans on the planet, responsible for the Romulans on the planet. Cyric was responsible for the entire project itself. And of course, Anaphis was responsible for the Bajorans. Now, the whole idea behind this was they could never really get cohesive, they could never really get cohesive projects between the Romulans and Klingons going because, and then so what they did was they brought in the Bajorans kind of almost like basically a neutral zone within a city. That's basically what the Bajorans were. So they intermingled with the Klingons, the Bajorans intermingled with the Romulans, and eventually the Romulans ended up intermingling with the Klingons. And this was like the key to this progress of peace sort of situation. Something went wrong. Somebody sabotaged it. Nobody knows who. The file actually defines that, it defines the reason they know it was sabotage, but it does not define who it was or how they could tell that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I can't give the specifics on it, but
sure.
So it went off. The Borg woke up, started killing everybody. Graka and Cyric and Sada were all aboard the Valor already when this whole thing started going down because they were there to meet to talk about the progress. The only person on the planet was Anaphis. Anaphis was the first to be beamed out on Cyric's order, even though Anaphis requested his family be beamed out first. They beamed him out first because he was extremely important personnel. He got caught in one of the temporal blasts. That created his thing. That's not in the file. Just so you know, nowhere in the file says anything about Anaphis's time travel thing. They did not know about that. Okay? Very clear that was an Anaphis secret. He gets teleported out. The Borg start killing everybody. They realize that the temporal anomaly itself cannot, they can't teleport people out because of the temporal anomaly, going off, because it was going off so quick. They couldn't teleport people out safely. And at some point in there, basically, an order was given to fire photon torpedoes on the colony. It was assumed to be lost to the Borg because they could not teleport people out, and they fired torpedoes on the colony itself. Everybody on the bridge agreed to this. And then the other really tricky fact about that is because this was redacted, well, I'm going to make you roll for this because you'd have to figure this out. We're going to say insight. We're going to say command. And then we're going to say, insight command.
That's definitely one of my strong suits.
Great. Oh, no.
No. Does constantly watching help here or not, I assume?
I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Boop. Anything?
One success.
Got one and no complications?
Yeah.
It was a 1 success challenge, so I'm gonna say you hit it spot on.
Okay.
Basically, you read over this 3 or 4 times, and T-Rex actually points it out a couple of times too. She goes, "The Accord would have never gone forward if it wasn't deemed a tragedy." And that kind of gets you working. At some point, basically, this is what you deduce from reading this. At some point, they realized not only could they not save the colonists, but it would be better if they all died. This got all redacted, and then they could set it up as this terrible bonding situation. We had this colony where all these people came together who used to hate each other, who used to kill each other, and they died in this terrible, terrible atrocity, this terrible accident that happened. Now is the time to come together. And in the wake of this tragedy, that's what has led directly to the peace accords.
Ugh.
Never would have happened without this nightmarish tragedy. So the situation, because Cyric was completely and 100% behind the accord. It's called the Cyric Accord.
Right.
So yeah.
Now,
So
is that spoken to explicitly, or that's something we deduced from it?
it's also it's also given in the log portion where he's just ranting. Basically, that's what Anaphis has assumed. Like, you're not 100% positive that's what happened, but Anaphis is like, this is what happened. They killed them all because they could get peace throughout the entire quadrant. That's why they did it. That's why my wife and kid died. My federation, the thing that I truly believed in, the thing that I lived for other than my wife and kid, killed my wife and kid. And in the process made me some sort of monster that just keeps making itself. Like, I have become an instrument of the prophets to destroy and act vengeance for all these people who have done this terrible thing, who have not just taken away my kid and my wife, not just taken away my personal love, but taken away all of the things that he believed in the Federation. And like, that's the feel you get. Anaphis was diehard's Federation, and the diehard thing that he was for killed his family and all of his friends,
and then rode the tragedy to this peace accord.
Yeah. So his hit list was Cyric, it was Graca, it was Sada, it was Matt Cardona, it was Chelsea Green. One's down. He got one.
Right. Oh man.
T-Rex is just staring at it. Like, she comes from the Klingon Empire. This is going to get us killed somehow. I don't know how, but this is going to get us killed. Like, that's her look right now. She's like, we don't come out on the other side of this.
She actually looks like a 9-year-old who saw Doctor Who for the first time.
Yeah. She actually looks at you and goes, I do not believe I will have to worry about going back to the Empire. I don't believe I will ever make it there. At least I will have an honorable death.
Yeah. This is beyond our pay grade sort of stuff.
And this is the man tomorrow. This is the man coming to investigate us. Now, I'm going to give you this one for free. No roll. And I am sure you are already thinking it, because I know how your brain works, friend. But that being said, if you give this information up, if you make this public, there is no way the Accord stands. In fact, war could come from it quite easily.
Oh, not the first time.
Just saying. Just saying.
It's a Tuesday in the Federation. When are we on the brink of war?
Well, you're not right now. That's the whole point. You're finally not on the brink of war. Like, for the first time ever, you're not on the brink of war. I mean, you are, but it's against a whole different thing that you guys don't even know about yet. But, like, you're not on the brink of war in the quadrant.
It's totally different from the last time this happened or the time before that.
I was going to say, what do you mean no, I guess well, yeah, there's always, no, what about the other time? No, I guess, okay.
There will be peace in our time. There will be peace this week.
All right. I think we can make this. Man, this is messed up.
Mark gets that way. Mark gets it.
Yeah, no, this is.
T-Rex actually stands up and goes, I'm going to return to my quarters.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm going to shower. I'm going to clean myself. I do not want to die this smelly. And then she turns and walks out.
Fair point. I'm eventually gonna get myself cleaned up, and then I'm gonna go to bed and lay awake staring at the ceiling for a very, very long time.
Okay. you guys hear that Cyric arrives the next day and is eager to begin interrogations and investigations and debriefings. So the question is, do you guys have anything else you want to do today? Because I'm going to go through each of you guys doing the investigations, but if you want to do side stuff, I'll switch back and forth. You just have to let me know.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Mark's like, I'm just going to take a nap. You let me know.
I was
when
up
the
half the night, man.
investigation's done. No, I get it.
I mean Enzo.
Tobin's gonna wake up way too late for any of this and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Tobin, the smartest one out of all of us.
All right.
At some point, I'm just gonna go get changed and then go back to the Hollow Suite. Just rent another one and then just go to another one.
It's a Hollow Suite. Just change there.
When you head back to the Hollow Suite to rent it, you find yourself locked out. And as you start to walk in, somebody eyes you and like starts to follow you slightly, like giving you the eye. And as you get up to it to lock it out, you're like, ooh. And he's like, yeah, this crazy thing. Somebody really, really tampered with the conduits on there. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Yes, actually. I happen to know a lot about different things with Hollow Suites and holodecks. I love holodecks. Have you ever been onto the Hollow Suites? On some planets, including Dorvan, they've got some amazing Hollow Suites there. I know all about them. I like to watch different types of things on the Hollow Suites. Different size Hollow Suites, sometimes they have different propulsion systems they use to keep you pushed back from the walls, and sometimes they have really good replication systems. And other times, you can really, really, really get into the action because they've got these new sort of like spongy, fuzzy systems that let you like wear stuff, but like you're not really wearing it. So it's sort of like holographic clothing, but you have to be careful because if you leave the Hollow Suite with the holographic clothing on, everybody gets a show. but some other things about Hollow Suites. Do you like Hollow Suites? There's a lot of Hollow nodules. In fact, I have a bunch of Hollow Suites, the programs. I keep them right here with me.
And you kind of start reaching into random places and pulling out like isolinear chips that have like little tabs on them with weird alien hollow novel names on them.
Would you like to see some of my hollow novels? These are my favorites. Some of these are very inappropriate for Starfleet officers, but you seem like a cunning fellow. I don't think to let anybody find out. You might want to lock the door, however. Make it a little bit interesting. Also, you're going to want to enhance the soundproofing because they get very, very involved.
Don't use the hollow tubes again. God damn, Ferengi. And then he just turns and walks away.
I run right after him.
Wait, I can't use them at all? I have all these programs. I mean, what about the other? Are there additional Hollow Suites?
You can't go pulling chips in and out of places and switching them. I don't know what they do in Ferengi land, but you can't do that here and then still use it.
But if you'd like to know what they do on Ferengi land,
I just drop a whole bunch of different hollow novel programs on the ground and start trying to pick them up.
As you're picking him up, he walks away at this point. he takes this moment to not be in that place anymore.
Excellent.
All right.
I like how all of us have essentially the ability to use mislead with something other than command.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lenren's first.
Oh boy, here we go.
Security comes to get you. They take you to basically it feels like an interrogation room. It doesn't feel like a meeting room at all. And then they ask you to have a seat. They're very friendly about it, but that's where they were told to bring you. Already sitting inside is the very regal, stern Cyric, just kind of looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to point out the Klingon is also in the room. Graka.
Mm-hmm. Noted.
Please have a seat.
I take a seat.
Lieutenant Linra Hanover, I would like you to give me an accounting, other than the report, of what happened. Now, you don't have to do the whole thing, but if you want to just say if you leave anything out or if you say it verbatim, what do you do?
I say it verbatim.
Okay. All right. All
I
right.
pretty much what is in the report.
Okay.
Yep. Basically in the report I filed. So
Okay. He's like, interesting. And there is nothing else?
not that I am aware of.
Why is it that you think Anaphis put you in charge?
I don't know.
I researched the logs of the ship, especially the captain's log. Each of his senior staff had a small meeting with him before departure.
Which you'll find in the report, which I covered.
Yes. Nothing else was said to you there.
No.
Are you aware?
Out of character. Which meeting are we talking about? The private one?
No, yeah, the private one. You wouldn't have actually put this in the report. I was just letting
Oh.
it go. But the first one, when you first got on the ship, the private one.
Okay, because the way you were making it sound, it was...
No.
You
He's
know.
talking about that. Like he researched.
Oh. If he's talking about
all-
that one, then no. If he's talking about that one, that one was basically just that's a standard meeting most commanding officers give to senior staff when they board.
He put you in the first mate chair, correct?
Yes.
I find this interesting. Are you aware that engineer Cynthia Deveros outranks you?
Yes, I am aware.
You had never had a command before, correct?
No.
But he chose to put you in the first mate chair.
It is not unheard of in Starfleet.
No, but it is rather illogical.
There were a lot of things that were illogical, including the ship itself.
This is true. It is an older ship, and you were not outfitted for the action you saw. Nonetheless, in a time of crisis, when he has decided to go down to the planet, he put you in charge again, even though the ranking officer was Miss Deveros.
This was true. And you will notice, even as acting first officer, I did protest the captain heading down to the surface, which was a breach of protocol.
I did notice that. Your records are meticulous, and I appreciate that. However, I must ask, have you ever had any meeting with Captain Anaphis Ferran before your posting?
No.
Did you speak with him about the planet prior to going down and prior to the briefing?
No.
Did Captain Ferran tell you why he was doing what he was doing?
No.
Other than what you put in this report, which something about his unfortunate loss.
That was all he let on.
I see. Well, I do have other interviews to do. I will call you back if I need to question you on any other things. I must ask, though, is there anything you would like to add verbally to this report in any way, shape, or form?
No. Nothing.
Thank you, Lieutenant Hanover. That will be all for now.
Yeah. And I get up and leave.
All right. You leave.
He was fishing. He was
Damn
Totally
right.
logical.
Fishing in the wrong pond.
So where do you go? Do you do anything specific after you leave?
I'm hunting down Narc.
Okay. All right. You're hunting down Narc. Well, then we're going to go to Tobin's interrogation, and then we'll come back to you finding Narc. Tobin, you're next up. You're taken to the interview room, interview room.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's an interrogation room. Everybody's very nice about putting you in an interrogation room, but it's definitely an interrogation room. You see Commander Cyric standing there, sitting there behind the other side of the chair, and you do also see the Klingon there, kind of eyeing you from a corner. Please, Lieutenant Law, come in and have a seat.
Admiral? Captain?
I have been reading your reports here. I would like you to give me a verbal accounting of everything that happened to you during this mission. And again, like Sean, do you leave anything out? Do you go verbatim? What do you talk about?
I'm going to go verbatim, but also no. So Tobin is going to will give everything verbatim.
Question mark.
Yeah, no, everything to the letter. While doing that, though, he's gonna see about if he can get a read on Graka.
Okay. What exactly are you trying to get a read out of? Like, give me 10 what you're looking for here, so that I can potentially give you a roll.
He's no attempt to I would call this the equivalent of like a sense motive or
Okay.
look for any kind of observations.
Kind of like trying to figure out, like almost like trying to read her like a poker table sort of situation. Okay. All right. Let's do insight. Let's do I'm gonna say command on that one.
Insight command, and I will use my joined talent
Okay.
as a
I know
Klingon at one time.
Spine baby knows Klingons.
A focus.
Okay.
One.
It's a one success thing. She's okay. Your read of her is she's reading you. Like, she is definitely like staring you down, and you don't think necessarily it's staring you down to intimidate you so much as to like figure out if you're lying. Like, she's the suspicious one in the room. Not that Cyric feels not that Cyric feels like he isn't particularly sus, but like she is just like eyeing you. Like,
she's doing the in a normal circumstance, this would probably be like a betazoid.
yeah, but it's more like I've seen a lot of liars, and I've seen a lot of warriors, and I've seen a lot of shit, so I'm gonna stare at this guy. And
I'm also blanking the double dealing guy who's doing the interrogation, so
right.
I mean that's why I'm.
They're the ringleaders, so to speak. So she's just eyeing you. She's trying to figure you out while you're trying to figure her out. I am gonna give her a roll though, real quick.
Of course.
Since you were eyeing her, we'll see if she sees that you are particularly interested in her. Not in that way, but you know what I mean.
No.
Well,
Never say never.
It is a joint trill and a Klingon. I mean,
stranger things have happened.
On Deep Space Nine, even.
Nope, that didn't work. What's the roll command again? I know I ask this every time.
Perform task.
No, I'm not
Oh,
performing.
roll slash roll. Oh no, yeah, it's slash roll d20 if you're
Can you
looking to
tell
roll.
me the right one without like
Slash roll space
Douchebag.
2d20.
slash roll 2d20? All right, thank you. All
I
right.
figured you'd figure out the number before the d20.
Well, one of those isn't good.
So she pipes in right towards the end of your kind of verbatim thing, and she goes, "Don't mind me." Cyric kind of like turns slowly and then turns back to you and goes, "She is just an observer. She was intricate as ambassador during the Accords. Please, this is Captain Graka M. Perek."
Of course,
Did
Captain.
we just lose Nick Jitsu?
I think we just lost Nick Jitsu. Did Grid Fam go?
And
There he is.
all right,
There he is.
reverse polarity again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's all good. So I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I don't mind. I of course do not mind, Captain, Admiral.
Cyric continues. He goes, "So you were the only person to come in face-to-face contact with the terrorist leader, or at least this person you referred to in your reports as first."
I am not aware, other than in the reports, of the actions outside of the bridge.
Yes, I see that. You spent almost your entire time on the bridge, including in the Jeffries tubes. I am surprised you survived the electrocution.
I am, for the sake of the ship and the crew, I deemed it the best course of action.
What exactly did First say to you on the bridge?
I covered in my report that he explained his origin long enough for me to grant me the opportunity to attempt to stop him.
Did he explain to you why he was doing what he was doing? The motivations at this point are unknown to us.
He did not. His as what appeared to be the extensive damage to himself, I'm not sure anything he would have, if he had continued to speak, it would have been necessarily believable.
He kind of leans in just slightly, like just enough, and goes, "So, it is your theory that the damage being done to him by this temporal anomaly was impairing his cognitive thought, making him believe certain things were happening that were not?"
Of course, temporal anomalies are an extensive point of research that are still yet to be clarified. However, I don't believe this first was particularly well as a result.
I see. You also rammed him at warp. This was an interesting maneuver, to say the least. What came about with that calculation?
Dumb luck.
You realize you could have both been, who knows?
I performed a rudimentary warp field computation that any pilot in their first year of the academy should have been able to complete. I perhaps did not account for the damage done to the captain, impairing his seventh dimensional, his memory of seventh dimensional warp field dynamics.
I
overshot him a little bit.
Yes.
Overshot through him.
If I recall correctly, you were all also getting aid from the Ferengi on this when you overshot. Lieutenant Nark, science officer, if I recall correctly. He aided you in the calculations that may or may not have led to your overshot.
No, it was the calculations were my calculations were perfect for a warp interdiction. I will definitely my submission for my paper regarding this will of course list me as first author and second author, I guess.
Trill joke. Nice.
He's like, I see.
He did double check the results.
Oh.
He called it warp factor yeet. Oh.
He goes, I see. Lieutenant Tobin, you seem slightly perturbed. I do want to tell you, I believe you have served your crew and ship admirably. I think your actions here are commendable, above and beyond, and you are definitely in line for a promotion.
You speak too kindly, Admiral. I appreciate.
Don't be ridiculous. I don't speak kind. I tell you a fact. The fact is you did well.
Indeed.
You made me dismissed for now, Tobin. And, oh, wait. You may be dismissed for now, Tobin. I may find other reasons to bring you back in. There is also the question as to whether you will all be on a ship together still.
I think the crew performed above and beyond their caliber. I think it would be in our best interests to work together again. I respect your judgment in this matter.
Including Lieutenant Hanover?
Yes, Lieutenant Hanover worked excellently under pressure.
I have heard other things from some of the crew. Are you sure you don't want to rescind that comment?
I do not rescind my comments, Admiral.
Fair enough, Lieutenant. You are dismissed.
Ooh.
All right, so Lenra, you find Nark
Getting smells of drumhead here.
that he dropped all over the floor. And then there's a guy like brushes past you, just shaking his head like, Ferengi, why Ferengi? And just like brushes past you as you
Nark's
see
here.
Nark like trying to pick up the hollow cubes he dropped all over the place.
Right.
Yep, they're just like old school Sega game cartridges, just all over the floor.
He's like blowing in them.
What, Nark is? Or?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nark.
Yes. Sorry. It's not you. It was you, but it was that I was thinking.
No. I understand. Just a quick question here. Need a little Ferengi insight here. Are you sensing a bad deal with all this?
the bad deal? Since
Mhm.
no, I so far all of the deals on the promenade have been adequately priced. Now,
I
mind
meant
you, I
with the
haven't brought you
situation. Narc. I meant with the situation, the admiral,
situation.
and
Admiral.
what we just went through.
Uh, I mean, I just went through about 50 or 60 different episodes of my favorite
On the
Kahn
ship,
novels.
Narc. On the
Uh,
ship and on the planet.
oh yes. Um, what about it? You can't tell if he's backing away from you or if he's getting closer.
I,
I'm gonna
he's
have you guys
he's
both
doing
make a
his
roll.
nervous. He's doing his nervous vibrating, basically.
Yes.
I want you guys to make a contested roll.
Okay.
I want you guys to both make a presence / security check.
Okay.
Okay.
That and that and that.
And then you need, well, I'll be able to watch. That's the
I
beauty
don't
of
think composure, diplomacy, investigation. I don't think any of those would help.
nah.
Behavioral. I think it's fine. Yeah, I'll just roll this. What do we got?
Just roll these two. Here we go.
2
Why did it roll?
successes.
Why did it roll 4 total? Well, 1 success and a
Says
complication.
Lenra has 2 successes. Lenra has 2
double rolled.
successes.
Oh,
What?
I
wait.
got 2.
Why did it
double
roll?
rolled for Lenra.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it was the first one we got to take. Okay. Complication.
Aneurysm.
I mean, unless you want me to re-roll, because that literally rolled at the same time. That was bizarre.
No, I'll take your worst one. I'm gonna go ahead and up that threat by 1, and then okay. So yeah. Continue.
I mean, I guess maybe I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was busy watching a lot of horror novels, and so maybe wait, did you already meet with Admiral
Yes.
with Admiral Cyric? Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna start like looking around frantically to make just to see if I'm being followed. Um, Uh, yes, or no. What's more convenient?
You went to him for advice. This was your decision.
You got
Oh no.
I didn't.
And now
do
you
that.
have to live with that decision.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Nope. I'm fully understanding on this one. Okay, here's another question for you, Narc, being a science officer. Is it odd that temporal division isn't involved in the debriefing?
I mean, I am a science officer. I'm not sure that I'm really qualified to make that kind of a. Do you really need me to answer that out here in public? Um, you know what? I think actually one of these horror novels is really good. Here, this is about
Oh,
Graynar. Come with me. I'm just gonna grab her
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
by the lapel and just start dragging her towards one of the just one of the random suites.
Okay.
And I'm going to have Linra like really close, like big ears, right? So I'm gonna
Yeah.
kind of like whisper like, they're locked out for some reason. I don't know why. So I think you have to use your command code to let us into not this one, not this one, but this one over here.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the ones I didn't use yet.
Okay.
So I just like drag her into the hollow suite, pop in one of the random things, turn it up super, super loud, and then just start kind of like, okay, I have something I have to admit to you. So the last time the last time that I was involved in a situation that didn't go very well, there were some Romulans around, and so now every once in a while I have to go see my therapist about it, but I'm not supposed to tell anybody about it, so I don't tell anybody about it, and I can't tell my therapist about it. But that's because maybe the person who's going to ask us questions today told me that I can't tell anybody about it, so I don't tell anybody about it. I haven't told anybody about it, but I do go to my therapist. So my therapist said, if you can't tell anybody about it and you don't know anything about it, because I don't know anything about it, so I don't tell anybody about it, then maybe you should do something else to take your mind off it. So I come and I do the holo novels, and that's where we are now. Um, Unfortunately, right now, because you're the Ramen and I'm in the holo novel where I'm supposed to be having my therapy, I'm sort of having a bit of a problem. Um, did you have a question? Yes, the temporal. So, there was something interesting. I made a lot of recordings while we were there, and the last time something bad happened, uh, it it may have been important for me to not have recordings, and maybe I did have recordings, but I don't have them now. Of course, I mean, in my possession, I don't have any recordings. Um, so
I don't know.
um,
I don't know what Narc. I don't know what recordings you're talking about.
Me either, which is
I
very
don't know.
fortunate for both of us.
Hold on, hold
So
on, hold on. And I look at Narc and I produce a pad, like copies of these logs that we don't know where they ended up.
yes, I also don't know where. I'm just gonna like just subterfuge sleight of hand the little pad away, even though she's handing it directly to me, and
Yeah.
just like, um, yes. So should I make a holo programming roll to take the log file and basically try to do what I did before, where I just sort of
No, I'm gonna say you do it. I'll give it to you because you know what? Actually, I'm gonna let you make a roll, but it'll be a 0 difficulty, so you guys can get some momentum going.
okay.
So that
Is
The
this-
100% not to
Sean
induce
can make any roll
complications.
tonight whatsoever.
I'm tempted to roll to assist. Just
Oh no, don't, Sean. We don't need it. We're good. We're good, man. We're good.
Okay,
We're
so
good, man.
I'm gonna
oh
do
Jesus Christ!
what is it? Insight
How
and
bad can
engineering,
a
or
have a difficulty 0 task go?
Don't say that. Jeez.
Shut up!
We're
Shut
trying
up!
to-
Are you trying to
What,
jinx it?
what do I roll here? Insight or reason?
What you rolled last time?
Okay,
I
that was
think it
reason and engineering,
reason
and then
and-
holo programming.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you make that roll. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting another drink.
Okay.
Yay, we got a momentum.
Yay! We got one momentum. Oh, there it is. It's
It
on the
wasn't a
thing already.
complication.
Woo!
All right. Sorry if anybody saw my pajama pants. That's how I roll.
People wear
okay.
regular pants now?
No. Not me.
I do.
Not me.
I do, unfortunately.
How would anyone even know? You're behind a counter, aren't you?
I was, but I got up to get the drink.
No.
Uh,
He's
Like,
talking.
I'm
He's
sorry
talking
if
about
somebody
me. He's talking about me.
Oh, okay.
Health
Look,
department codes. Can't wear
I could
pajama
get
pants. In.
away. I could get away with my weighing out, but I know at some point I'd stand up and just forget.
of all the things the health department lets slide, you can't wear comfy pants.
Okay, so what was the roll? Sorry.
Oh, I got
One
one
success.
success.
Okay, so add 1 to your momentum. Good to go.
Done.
Did it. All right, so you copy that. Cyric is gonna come get Enzo.
Okay.
It's time. It's time for the showdown. He has you same thing. Interrogation room, Graka behind him. Lieutenant Serret, please have a seat.
Thank you. I turn to Captain Garrick and I say in Klingon, "Glory to your house."
Fucking badass, man.
I'm about to get myself like dishonorably discharged and shot out of an airlock, so I think that's fair.
Oh, now
I
I'm
like how
excited.
Graka's response is
I'm
in
excited.
Klingon. Badass, man.
You know you're a Star Trek fan when you do 4
Fucking
episodes
metal.
of basically straight action, and the thing that you're most excited about is a conversation in an interrogation room. That's how you know you're a Star Trek fan right there, man. I'm telling you. Like just nonstop action, and then I just want to see these two talk. That's it. Okay. So you come in, you say that to him, and Graka actually like nods, like slowly, like you put her off just a little bit, like off her game, got her off her rhythm. All right, you sit down. So your report, what did you enter into your report? I'm guessing you did it before you watched the hollow screen, but
Yeah. I basically put everything in the report. I mean, I had at that point nothing to.
did you put the hollow thing in the report?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I figured. I wrote it before I went and found the pad, so I figured at the time it was just a.
You didn't write it before you found the pad, though, because you found the pad while you guys were floating around on a dead
That's right.
ship.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like, the report would have been written in between there somewhere. So, just saying.
Okay.
Never informed me, so I saw nothing.
Lieutenant Cyric, I've read your report.
Mhm.
I would like you to give an oral retelling of your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can just for this part, you could just say what you're going to leave out, what you're not.
Well, I mean, I'm going to focus mostly on how Captain Ferran was acting more and more erratically and off protocol as the mission went on. Where he tried to leave us on the ship, then he tried to ditch us in the city when we were getting attacked, and then how he pulled out a phaser and went to go shoot somebody, which is when I took him down the first time, and then on the planet, I didn't get a whole lot of his ranting and ravings because I was either unconscious or in a fight. You know what I mean? And so my actual accounting of what happened from him wasn't all that detailed. And then, just straight through the action to the end, where there was just a 1 in a million shot that we happened to catch because we'd clipped his ship coming out of warp, and then
one thing I want to ask you outside of game, for the report wise, regardless of what did you put in about the torpedo blasts on the planet? Did you put nothing in about that? Did you put it looked like Federation torpedo blast? What'd you put in about the torpedo? What do you think Enzo would have put in?
Well, Enzo didn't know they were Federation torpedoes.
It's true. He just knew they were torpedoes. I mean,
the colony got torpedoed in a temporal anomaly induced vision.
Okay, so you do say that it got torpedoed. Got it.
Right. In this, what I saw in this temporal anomaly induced vision was that it looked like torpedoes.
Well, I meant for the craters. The craters there.
Yeah. They were totally torpedo craters. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you put that in the report.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. He goes, well, Captain Ferran was very ill, very sick, and was experiencing side effects from an unknown illness. If he had only come forward, Temporal Division may have been able to help him. Instead, he decided to keep this information to himself, which may or may not have poisoned his mind. That being said, I am rather worried about the distressing wording here about torpedo fire on the colony. You are aware that Cascade was deemed an technical accident, a tragedy.
Yes. Yeah, it is a real tragedy how many people died in this accident.
I think these blasts were probably created by the accident.
Well, anything's possible. I'm not a temporal mechanics expert. I study a lot of torpedoes, though, and they looked a lot like torpedo craters. I mean, if you cross-reference it, there was the bombing on Dagnar 3 when the apologies, Captain, but this is back in 100 years or so ago when the Klingons bombed a colony there, and then again when it's a little different than when the Borg were scooping up colonies when they first invaded Federation territory. It's a similar sort of crater shape, although much different in size, obviously. Because Borg, it's Borg, right? Borg are they have really big ships and they take things in big chunks. But when some Cardassian colonies got bombed during the Federation Cardassian War. There's some very broadly similar impact craters from antimatter destruction devices. So I put in my report as I saw it. It looked like a torpedo.
No one can fault you for that, I suppose. We did have many scientists look at it, and they all agreed that it was because of the accident. Mr. Lieutenant Cyric, did the captain, you spoke in his report of him speaking more and more erratically to you.
Mhm.
Did he say anything else to you specifically?
Well, I mean, he mentioned how much he wanted to exact revenge on certain people he saw were responsible for the death of his family, based on who was making the calls and the really chaotic sort of attempted evacuation of the colony site right at the end. And it's natural to try and blame people who are in charge of things they can't really be in charge of, right? I mean, who could be in charge of a tragic temporal disaster on a totally peaceful planet? I mean, that's just crazy.
Cyric takes a long time. And then he goes, that tragedy led to a peace accord.
Oh
that
yeah,
we have just signed. Full quadrant peace. No more fighting. No more neutral zone. We will be able to explore the beta quadrant fully, and we will be able to extend our footprint in the galaxy.
yeah. No, it was a as far as tragedies go, it was pretty convenient.
It is regrettable that so many people lost their lives for something that is doing so much good.
Yeah. No, it's definitely in the for the greater good kind of column for sure. Yeah. It's a real shame though. It's a real shame. It seemed like the people on the planet were finally, from what I hear anyway, they were finally starting to make some real breakthrough on the ground, as it were. With all the scientists working there. I mean, just what a cool sort of thing. But real tragedy.
Suddenly, Graka moves, not to attack you, just like kind of like snaps to attention and tenses up. You can see her fists like cock as she kind of steps forward and almost growls. You swear you hear an imperceptible growl from her. And Cyric just kind of like, he doesn't even look at her, and then he just looks at you. He goes, is there anything else, Lieutenant Cyric, that you would like to speak to me about? He takes his finger, he clicks off the recording device in private.
Like off the record kind of thing?
Yes. Now is the time.
I look over at Captain Graka and then back at the Admiral. It's not exactly private here, sir. No offense, Captain.
I'm going to need you to leave. Graka kind of like her eyes widen and she looks at him and he looks back and goes, I am going to need you to leave. She like looks at him, then looks back at you. And then she starts to walk out. And then in Klingon, she goes, mind your step, and then walks out.
I reply, may your blood scream. It's a toast. It's a drinking toast.
It's a toast. Yeah. It's still a fuck you, but it's a nice fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
She steps out, the door shuts. We are now alone. Speak your piece, Lieutenant Cyric.
It was a terrible tragedy, sir. And the peace that you've managed to achieve with this accord is truly really impressive. It has repercussions that I think won't fully be understood for decades. I mean, with Klingons and Romulans and the Federation, we've been warring with each other for centuries now. I mean, this is a truly historic sort of peace agreement. And well, it's historic. And there's a lot of things that are worth a lasting peace, sir.
All right. He clicks the recording device back on. Thank you for your time, Lieutenant Cyric. If there's any other questions, I will send for you.
Looking forward to it, sir. Thank you.
All right. You leave. Interesting. Okay. So, at that point, it's Nark's turn. Nark, God help us all. It's Nark's turn. The security comes and finds you. Brings.
I was gonna
you
say, is there a specific time I'm supposed to report there? Basically.
Nah, they're just coming to get you when they get you.
Okay.
So
I was just gonna say that I took the hollow novel that was on the, just the simple child hollow novel thing that we had. I'm just gonna re-upload that, like switch that one out for one of my little, video game card, whatever things.
Okay. Cool.
Isolinear Sega cartridges, and then, and then basically just go out to like the promenade and just wander around looking at deals.
All right.
While this is going on, where are we at?
Where are who at?
Everybody else.
Well, I just left Narc.
Yeah, he just left Narc.
Okay.
Where do you want to be?
So all right. So Tobin is probably back at
the bar.
What's funny is there's nothing else to do here except shopping.
Yeah, just shopping and hanging out. Yeah, I mean, you
so
can of course.
He's at the bar, but with like
coffee.
A Trill soda or something.
On Earth, we call it ramune.
That's very likely.
I mean,
all right. So Narc, they come and get you. They bring you to the interrogation chamber. They have you sit down. It's the same as usual. Cyric is just looking at you. You don't want to be here. You want to be anywhere other than here. Any place on the planet other than this place. There is a Klingon standing behind him, looking at you angrily. It's just terrible. It's all your terrible Ferengi anxiety balled into one specific moment. Lieutenant Narc, please have a seat.
Actually, I'm still an ensign. So you could just regard me as ensign, or you could just not regard me at all. And if this is for higher ranking officers, I could just leave and I could go mop something.
He doesn't say. He would say your rank. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I personally, as a game master, thought you were a lieutenant. That's my bad.
That's fine.
You're
okay.
Ensign. Fine. He has you, ensign. Please, Ensign Narc, please have a seat.
Yeah. Me. Yes. Yes. Okay. I like scoot over to the chair and almost trip over it and sort of like try to sit down on the back of the chair and then realize I can't really hide, and so I just sort of completely the whole time like just terrified of the Klingon that's just standing there, obviously like mortified. And I finally make my way to the chair and sort of like.
And the Klingon's already not having a good day.
But like only sort of like one butt cheek at a time, and just sort of like really kind of like not stopping looking at the Klingon, just in horror.
Okay.
Like on food.
That's fine. Cyric just kind of goes. He does not ask for your retelling. He's happy with reports. He's done this with you before. So he just kind of looks at you and goes, Ensign, we find ourselves again in a room like this, speaking about terms I would prefer not to speak with an ensign about. I have some questions, Narc. I will want you to answer honestly and as concisely as you can. Why did you attempt to bypass security protocols to access the redacted files on the Cascade incident? Oh, that's right, people. I remember he did it. I'm a game master who remembers.
Well, you see, so, I have this thing. So because of the last incident, wait, can I talk? I don't. Was there a last incident? I mean, um, eh, I, I'm actually making eye contact with him now, and sort of like on the very front of the chair, like he's just balanced, like just kind of leaning on the edge, and like looking suspiciously at the Klingon, because he doesn't want to talk about the other incident that he's not supposed to talk about.
Right.
Uh, well, I know. So my therapist gave me some interesting ways to handle this situation. Hypothetically, if there had been a previous situation, um, which there wasn't necessarily, um, at that point, I had to enter therapy. Wait, I think I said that already. Okay, so part of my therapy is to engage in halal recreational activities where I cannot get hurt and I cannot hurt anyone else. And um, if I make uncomfortable uh, bodily functions, then nobody will become uncomfortable. And anyways, so I was actually looking. So I have a lot of horror novels, but I go through them very fast, and so sometimes I have to use things that I find for interest to make new horror novels for myself to enjoy. And because it was just some information that I thought would be relevant to the mission, I figured instead of wasting my time on horror novels that I've seen before, maybe I would watch that as for entertainment. But it didn't work, so I wasn't able to really get much, and it was kind of boring, and I don't really remember it, and I don't think I saw it. If you don't want me to have seen it, I mean, if you order, um, with all due respect, sir, uh, I think I'm gonna have to change after this debriefing.
You've already debriefed.
Oh,
He
Cyric,
needs to
Cyric,
he needs to rebrief after the
yeah.
Cyric turns to Graka, and Graka just shakes her head, and he's like, and he nods back, like, you are not a threat. He then turns back to you and goes, Narc,
Okay. If Graka is going to eat me, I suppose it's okay. But I have an obligation to at least send some of my body parts back to my family so that they can auction them off when I die. It's sort of a Ferengi tradition. Um, uh, I'm kind of skinny. If you are going to eat me, perhaps I could go visit the replicators first.
Narc, no one is going to eat you. You're, you're in the
Wow.
Federation.
Yes,
You
I
don't
am.
eat each other.
But that's very scary. I mean, respectable Klingon over there who's very interested, and I just assumed, um, just uh, you know, because I could be
Raka
tasty to
yells at you
Klingons.
and goes, "Why do you think I would eat you?" like, like angrily, like she
Because
couldn't.
you're massive, and I assume I am delicious and full of protein.
Only you? Are you kidding me? And then Cyric's just like Raka. She's like, she like flexes her shoulder and like backs into a corner. He then turns back to you and goes, Narc, is there anything your crewmates are not telling me about what happened on that planet and on that ship?
Um, well, if so, I'm sure I didn't have anything to do with it. And if I did have anything to do with it, it was probably an accident. And if it was an accident, then I probably don't remember. So, no, or yes, probably not.
Narc, you're dismissed.
Oh, wait, there is one thing. I did go to Ensign Lendra's nods a little bit, and acting Captain Lendra, uh, you know, it's that uh, mm, based on the logs, I've realized that Lendra's a Romulan, and so if there's any way I could be stationed with somebody else on the next crew assignment, that's not necessarily a Romulan. Hypothetically, if anything had happened with any Ro- Romulans previously, that could be a reason that I could have an aversion to Romulans now. And so, yeah, but going through her logs, I mean, that was the only important thing. There was some other things, but they weren't important. Just the part where she's definitely a Romulan. But that's all.
So what you're saying is you would prefer not to be stationed under or with Lenra Hanover.
Thanks.
No, I mean, Lenra's great. He made great decisions, and the mission went, fine. We all came back safely. I'm alive. Um, um, uh, other than the part about being the Hansu, that's Romulan and Romulan. I feel like maybe if if we were stationed on the same vessel, maybe this time I could just be in some other place that's dark and maybe damp. And then the Romulan, I mean, Lenra wouldn't necessarily want to be. I mean, she could still give me orders, but
Thank you.
the
And so
Romulan, can I
that
can I
will be all.
He's just like fiddling with a hollow novel, just even though he can't watch it, he's just like
Just
holding it and fumbling with it.
The
freaking
Admiral orders
racist.
to be installed
you.
for
Just racism.
will be all.
Just nothing but racism.
Narc. Yeah, he dismisses you. That will be all.
He just runs straight to the hollow suites again.
As soon as the door leaves, Cyric goes, "Do you understand now?" She goes, "The one with the metal face knows something. You and I know that." Yes. That is unfortunate. But it is not a problem that we cannot deal with in a civilized manner.
airlock.
She goes, she cracks her neck, or I could slit his throat while he sleeps, and then his blood could scream. He goes, no, that is not necessary. And that would violate the Accord. You're better than that. Graka stops and goes, all right, we'll do it your way. All right, so, Tobin, you're just hanging out at the promenade, getting like a trill soda or something, kind of trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Because really, that interrogation was very strange. You weren't expecting to be in an interrogation room for debriefing. You definitely weren't expected to be completely and totally alone. And he seemed to ask a lot of questions that you thought were kind of irrelevant at the time. So you're just kind of sitting there thinking about stuff in the promenade. And then Lieutenant Backwater, you hear his voice. Hey, Tobin, how you doing?
Oh. You're done with the Oh, no, I'm fine. You're done talking to the Admiral too?
Yeah, that was a weird meeting. Just weird all the way around, right?
Yeah, have a seat.
He sits down. He's got a drink there. He's like, I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to talk about this post-hand, but did he ask you a lot of questions about like what the captain said and what he was thinking and like all sorts of weird stuff like that? I mean, I thought, hey, dude's crazy. He's got stuff growing out of his face and he's recloning himself. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's left other than the reports. Something.
Yeah, I really feel like we're missing something. Like something somewhere we're really missing.
Wait, is this the ship's doctor?
Yeah. Ship doctor.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna track him down with his comm badge. Because I've got to keep him like on my tab, and I'm gonna find him because I can't get back in the Hollow Suites, and I've watched all of my Hollow novels, and now there's Romulans in my Hollow novels, which that doesn't matter for anybody. But so I'm gonna go find the doctor because I'm probably gonna have to roll something to not like flip out and just start screaming in Ferengi random things about the rules of acquisition.
Yeah. So he
we're on the promenade.
Yeah, we're gonna continue the conversation for we'll get you there, but we're gonna continue the conversation with Tobin first. He's like, yeah, I don't understand that whole reports thing. You feel like something else is going on here?
I honestly expected more questions about that last part with the ship.
Yeah, what happened with that, man? I was in medbay, and then all of a sudden I felt like I saw my grandfather and my dad at the same time, and then all of a sudden, the ship was half busted.
Yeah, we just kind of outran them. It's a little surprising to me.
Well, yeah, I don't know nothing about. I mean, I know the basic stuff they taught you in the academy, but for the most part, I tend to stick to the human parts, if you know what I mean. What?
Not particularly, but sure. You have similar things.
I like you, Tobin. We ain't never hung out before, but this is nice. You're quiet. You let me do all the talking. I love
appreciate the taking the time for me back on the ship.
Oh, hey, no problem. That's my job. Sorry I couldn't give you more attention, but it was just bodies being dropped on the ship, all with busted parts. Had to take care of it. Can I ask you another question? Did they ask you about Hanover?
The acting captain?
Yeah, Lenra, Lieutenant Hanover.
Weird. Tobin is going to try to get a read on him as well, but this time without a bonus.
What are we doing?
Is going to do the same, nothing. No, I cannot read this man whatsoever.
It's the accent.
It's the accent.
It's just too southern for you.
It's just lots of places of the South. We don't have a South like this on Trill.
You can't read him. He's a doctor, not a dictionary.
The charm is armor.
All right.
No, that's weird.
Yeah, super weird, right? I mean, between you and me, I never really cared for the lady personally. She's a little bit too I don't know, stick up the butt sort, but that's unofficial, off the record between you and me. Just friends drinking, right?
Well, clink glasses. It's definitely a bottle of rum.
At this point, Narc finds you.
I'm probably just gonna grab their glasses and just drink whatever's in them. He's like, at this point, he's like full on freak out, just like.
This Frank is coming in hot, baby! Wow.
Doctor.
The doctor's actually gonna try and like calm you down with medicine. Like he's like, whoa, hold on. I think I got a medical tricorder on me.
Yeah, that hypo spray comes out fast.
Give you a light sedative, just a light sedative. Like,
also, this is
like
probably
Benadryl.
I would think that this is you basically probably just basically had essentially Jack and Red Bull.
Yeah,
that's gonna go well.
Yeah, he calms you down with medicine just a little bit.
Okay,
but for a brief moment, you can taste colors.
It's like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you, Narc?
Well, I didn't get eaten, so technically this is a good thing. However, there seems to be a situation. You're my doctor, right? I'm just like clinging onto his uniform, basically. Like, it seems to be a problem. So I normally have the ability to go and have my therapy time with my holo novels, but the holodecks, for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, hypothetically, I could know why, but anyways, they're all down for some reason in maintenance or security. I don't know, but so I can't I can't. And then there were Romulans. And so I had a meeting with the admiral. This is all confidential, right? I mean, you're my doctor. He's just standing here on the promenade, just grabbing you by
Hey,
the shirt. He's
Nark,
talking openly, loudly. It's not like it's really like whispering, but
buddy.
he's
It's as
convinced that it's
confidential as
confidential.
it can be in the middle of a restaurant
Excellent.
eatery
Okay, so
next to a trail.
in all confidence, then they asked me all sorts of
Let's go
questions,
have a
and then
walk. Yeah. You know what?
a
Hey,
walk.
yeah.
Who are you?
Who? That's Tobin. He serves on the bridge with you, bro.
Bridge.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
What do you guys got going on
you.
on the bridge, man? You guys into something? I don't know.
You look different when you're not all, smelling like ozone and looking
Gonna-
like a burnt waffle.
You served with him for 2 months, Nark. 2 months before you got singed
Is-
by electrical fire.
Yes, but that was a very, very it's like one of those things you see and you can't really unsee them. Also, most of the time when we were serving together, I was just going through his personal information. I wasn't really talking with him or anything face to face. Face to face
Damn, Nark, how'd
conversations
you
are
make it
strange.
through the academy?
Well, interesting. So about the academy,
Probably
this is
related.
exactly what this have. Every time something happens today that seems like a good thing, and then they ask me about the things I'm not supposed to know about, and then the Romulans come up. I think we need to do something about the captain. The captain.
Hey, Dark, let's go talk about... Don't you
Yeah,
always
let's
like
go talk.
talking about replicator beams and display
Replicator beams.
matrices?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Those are fundamental parts
come
of
on, let's
holosuite.
go.
Let's go watch the warp core. Let's
Yeah, let's look. You know,
Okay.
I was just reading a
He's
thing about
sedated and following right along.
he's not. I don't think he had anything strong enough to sedate you. Just probably kept you from literally vibrating into the next plane.
We
As-
switch back really quickly to the interrogation room. We just see Cyric sitting there, kind of looking at somebody. We don't see the person, and just goes, "This is it. Are you sure this is it? None of your crewmates acted any differently or any. They didn't disobey orders. They acted with honor and within Federation guidelines. Did the captain say anything to you that could have set it off? Anything at all would be helpful." Just switches around and see. No, man, I was really good. I tell you, Ants and Tinkers here, man. I had that. What was crazy? You know, they wanted me to do this crazy warp jump, but I couldn't do this warp jump because, oh man, I tell you, because it wasn't my place. Tobin's got
Enzo,
that.
I'll be joining you in that airlock.
And whoa, he took it over, man. I was just trying to do my job, but I think Lenra was doing a really good job. I think she thought I was mad at her, but I wasn't mad at her. I just wanted to get it done, man. All right, so we switch back to Enzo. Enzo, what are you doing?
I am going to be walking back to my quarters, very, very deep in thought.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Because I'm thinking about wrapping this up soon.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this information?
I'm going to sit on it.
Okay.
I'm going to back it up in a secure place. I'm going to...
You're going to talk to Narc about that? Apparently, he's the entire crew's back it up in a
no, it's not in a
place.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you can hear us coming down the hallway.
So basically, my thoughts at this point are: I have let him know that I know more than the official line, but that for the sake of literally billions of lives, it's worth not talking about it right now.
Okay. So Tobin, did you want to talk to Narc about anything else?
I am basically using my ability to bullshit at people with things to distract his ass and get him out of the bar where he's talking very loudly.
So you're more or less just trying to save him from himself right now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I am sidelining the shit out of this conversation, and we are not being in the bar.
All right. All right. Well, you get him out of there, and we're gonna wrap it up. But we're gonna go to one more because I like to do the little cutscene right at the end. We're gonna go one more scene. Cyric is standing, looking out an observation deck, just watching the stars go by, hands behind his back. Kahn, Captain Tony Kahn, comes up and goes, Admiral, permission to speak freely. And then Cyric goes, granted. He goes, look, you got to scrap that ship. The Danielson is absolutely wrecked. And let's face it, that thing was, I know the Federation has been doing this with some old parts that they don't want to get rid of, but when a ship like that old, comes in with that much damage, we just gotta, at that point, Cyric cuts him off and goes, I want you to fix it. He goes, what? It's like, I want you to fix it. I want you to repair it. I want you to put all of your men on it, and I want it in complete working condition. Tony's like, look, Admiral, I'm sorry. I know it's not my place, but that's like, that ship would almost be dangerous to pilot at that point. I am aware of that. Fix it. That's an order. And then we're going to cut there, guys.
Sorry, I'm going to get us all killed.
No, apparently I am, because they're going to just try to pin everything on me.
Honestly, I know Aether's going to end it soon, but I just want to say real quick, I honestly didn't have anything planned past this because I didn't know what you guys were going to do. I didn't know. I had like 5 different ideas. I was like, well, maybe they'll sit on it. If they sit on it, I'm going to do this. If they don't sit on it, maybe they become pirates. I have no idea. Like I was like, I don't know where this is going from here.
Wild card, we picked all of them.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Like I said in chat, I'm by the book till I can find them how to hit them with it.
Yeah, and in chat, it's just Tobin is a Trill, a pilot, and previously a Klingon. Is literally just weaponized ego, and he just conveniently doesn't know anything that happens.
No, I saw that in chat, Nick. No. Tinker's not for Federation president. No.
What could go wrong? We've had plenty of Federation presidents, and they've done nothing.
So, like, for the record, Narc has as one of his values, don't shoot the messenger. So, like, he'll tell information, but at the same time, he's only going to phrase it in such a way that it doesn't get him eaten.
Right.
Which, hey, it worked. He did not get
Yeah.
eaten. Good job.
Yeah.
I feel accomplished.
I'm glad. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the game. I'm hoping. Hoping.
Yeah.
Just need to get rid of that damn ship.
What are you talking about, man? That thing's fantastic.
It's
And
every
the
Harry
by the
Romulan piloting it.
by if we survived like season 4, every system is going to be a save versus death.
Yes.
If we make it to episode 10, it's going to be a
Yeah, like,
I would love.
how is
if
life
by the
support a
end of
save
this
versus
game-
death? Don't ask.
I would love if by the end of this game, as much as you guys hate that ship, somehow by the end of this game, you guys are just like, I love that ship. I love it so much. It's like having an old 85 Bronco. It's just the greatest. Like, I
Yes,
love
it's like
I
an
want
85
that.
Bronco. It's an 85 Bronco frame with the wheels of a Model T and the hood and the engine of a Yugo.
Well, we know where Sean
No.
stands.
Yep.
In fairness, it's an
In the
85
airlock.
Bronco with a small block V8 under the hood. 'Cause that thing hauled ass, man.
Because
I don't know if
that's
you remember.
safe.
In fairness, an 85
Yes.
Bronco has a V8 under the hood.
Oh.
Well, there you go. They just see what they did though is to improve the efficiency. They just took out all of the useless stuff like seatbelts and crap.
Yeah, like all that ridiculous Federation safety redundancy. Nah.
Right.
We let the Klingon engineers work on it. It's great.
Hey, I just want to say before you sign off, thank you guys for playing. I hope I'm doing Star Wars justice still, and anybody can check out the VOD if you want to see the replay on Old Man Gaming, if that's all right.
Loving it. It's
Point
great.
STA in the chat.
Excellently done.
Big ol' links. Enjoy, everybody. Well, thank you again. VOD will be up on YouTube Friday morning as usual. And I'm going to switch out. Thanks everybody for coming in. Mute briefly. No. All right. So thank you everybody for coming in. It's been great. I hope everyone's enjoying the game. I will be back tomorrow with, I don't actually know what, if I'm quite honest. I have to do a lot of work to finish the Kobokai, and I really would kind of like an airbrush for that working, and I need a new compressor. So I might be playing mecha stuff, other things. Want to watch some of our wackiness for Star Citizen, go check out MF Noah's VOD. If we're very lucky, Moonshine Animations will make some wacky hijinks of that. Otherwise, we'll figure something out tomorrow. Everybody have a lovely evening. Grab a snack, have a break, and take care. Bye.